Welcome to English Story Vault. Prepare yourselves for a story that will take you on a fascinating journey. Let the narrative unfold. Elon Musk is a man of immense fame and wealth, known globally for his companies like Tesla and SpaceX. A series of strange occurrences brought him under intense public scrutiny. These events sparked widespread conversation and questions. It began with a video that surfaced showing Elon Musk at a formal dinner. Also in attendance was President Donald Trump. In the footage, Musk was engaged in a peculiar activity, balancing forks on his fingers and face. For such a prominent figure, this behavior at a high-profile dinner seemed bizarre. Shortly after, Elon Musk was seen in public again, this time with a mark near his eye. It appeared to be a black eye, and its appearance so soon after the strange video led people to wonder what was happening. Was he okay? What was the reason for this unusual behavior? These questions intensified when a major newspaper, the New York Times, published a shocking story. The article made serious allegations about Elon Musk, focusing on his erratic behavior. It also made claims about potential drug use, suggesting Musk might be using illicit substances. While the story did not name its sources, stressed the gravity of the claims. This New York Times report amplified the public's concern. People began to wonder if the fork balancing video and the black eye were connected to the allegations in the article, creating a storm of discussion and worry surrounding one of the world's most influential people. 2. The big story, the New York Times, published a detailed and significant story about Elon Musk, sharing numerous details about his life and conduct. The article stated that its information came from multiple anonymous sources close to Elon Musk. These individuals wished to remain unnamed, but the New York Times relayed their accounts. The story made powerful claims that Elon Musk uses drugs, specifically alleging frequent use of ketamine. The article reported that sources witnessed him using the drug on a near-daily basis. It claimed this alleged heavy ketamine use had led to severe health complications, specifically damaging his bladder. The article also mentioned other substances Musk had allegedly used, including ecstasy and mushrooms, which are illegal for recreational use. The New York Times reported that sources had even shown reporters a special box where Musk allegedly kept his pills. As evidence of the variety of substances he might be taking, the story also included accounts of strange public behavior. One source described an incident at a political rally for President Donald Trump, where Musk allegedly made a gesture with his arm and hand that resembled a Nazi salute. The newspaper presented this as an example of his erratic public conduct. New York Times article compiled information from numerous sources who either knew Musk personally or worked in his vicinity. The newspaper asserted that these sources were familiar with his habits and behavior. The story's serious claims about alleged drug use and unusual public actions became a major news event, painting a picture of frequent substance use and bizarre public displays and fueling the public's questions about his recent actions. 3. Musk's answer. Following the article's publication, Elon Musk issued a swift response. He used his social media platform X to share his side of the story in a clear message for the public. He stated directly, "I am not taking drugs." This was his firm denial of the newspaper's allegations. Shortly thereafter, Mr. Musk appeared at a White House event in Washington, D.C., alongside President Donald Trump and other dignitaries. At the event, his black eye was clearly visible. When a reporter questioned him about the news story and his injury, Mr. Musk appeared unfazed. Smiling as he made a joke, he explained that his young son had accidentally hit him while they were playing, offering this as the simple reason for the black eye. He insisted it was unrelated to the news story or any drug use and dismissed the article as untrue. Mr. Musk specifically addressed the claim of frequent ketamine use. He denied this, but clarified that he does have a doctor's prescription for ketamine. He explained that he used a small amount of the medication a few years ago to help with occasional bouts of depression. He stated clearly that he no longer uses it. He emphasized that his past use was medicinal, supervised by a doctor, and had ceased a long time ago. Mr. Musk expressed his profound displeasure with the news story, accusing the newspaper of lying. He voiced a strong belief that the media was fabricating these stories in a deliberate attempt to attack and harm him. His central message was that the report was false and unfair. Through his massive social media presence and public statements, he worked to ensure his rebuttal was widely heard, aiming to cast doubt on the newspaper's credibility and convince people to believe his account. 4. A history of controversy. Recent stories about Elon Musk's behavior are not the first to generate public discussion. People recall previous instances where his conduct made headlines. In 2018, Musk appeared on Joe Rogan's popular podcast. A moment that captured widespread attention was when Musk smoked what appeared to be marijuana. A photograph from the interview of him smoking became iconic, even appearing in Rolling Stone magazine. Around the same period, Musk posted a message on social media about his company, Tesla, mentioning the price of $420, leading many to speculate a connection to marijuana culture. However, Musk later clarified he was not under the influence of marijuana when he sent that specific tweet. Also in 2018, the New York Times reported that members of Tesla's board of directors were worried. Their concern was centered on Musk's late-night social media posts. Reports suggested they believed his use of the sleep aid Ambien might be triggering these impulsive and unusual tweets. Musk himself acknowledged in interviews from that era that he was under immense stress and was taking sleeping pills like Ambien. He even described feeling emotional to the point of tears when explaining a major, legally risky decision he had announced via Twitter about potentially taking Tesla private. Another public incident caused trouble for Musk following the Thai cave rescue. After a disagreement with a professional cave diver involved in the rescue, Musk used a deeply offensive term, pedo guy, to describe the diver in an online message. This insult resulted in a defamation lawsuit. The cave diver sued Musk for harming his reputation, forcing Musk to defend himself in court. Ultimately, a jury ruled in Musk's favor, and he was not required to pay damages. These past events, smoking on a podcast, the concerning late-night tweets that worried his own board, and the insulting language that led to a lawsuit, a pattern of behavior. Reports have indicated that even former aides to President Donald Trump have described Musk as one of the most irritating people they've worked with, citing his communication style and odd jokes in meetings. This history provides context for the public's current discussion of his behavior. 5. The question of proof. After the news reports emerged, a central question arose. What is the proof? The stories made grave allegations against Elon Musk, claiming frequent use of drugs like ketamine, based on information from anonymous sources. Because these individuals were not named, it is difficult to independently verify their claims. These sources alleged they had witnessed Musk using drugs often and mentioned specific details, like a box where he kept his pills. However, Elon Musk presented a starkly different narrative. He publicly declared on social media that he was not taking drugs and that the reports were lies. He did acknowledge past minimal use of ketamine a few years ago, for which he had a doctor's prescription to treat depression. He specified that he used it infrequently, perhaps once every 2 weeks, and does not use it now. This account directly contradicts the anonymous source's claims of frequent non-medical use. Then there was the viral video of Musk balancing spoons on his face at a dinner. Some interpreted this as evidence of drug-impaired behavior. They saw his actions as strange and concluded they must be caused by drugs. Conversely, others viewed the video as Musk simply being playful or telling a joke. Elon Musk himself dismissed it as him just fooling around. Those in the video with him also appeared to find it amusing rather than alarming. Therefore, the situation presents a conflict between claims from unnamed sources and a strong public denial from Musk himself. While he admits to limited prescribed medicinal use in the past, this is fundamentally different from the allegations of current, frequent drug use. The video evidence is ambiguous and open to interpretation. There is no clear public proof to substantiate the serious claims made in the news reports, leaving the truth uncertain based on the available information. 6. Two different views. The news stories about Elon Musk were interpreted in starkly different ways, often depending on the media outlet. News organizations aligned with the current U.S. President Donald Trump frequently defended Mr. Musk. Fox News, for example, dismissed the story as false. Their commentators framed it as a political attack, suggesting the motive was Mr. Musk's friendly relationship with supporters of President Trump. They downplayed the story's significance. Other news organizations approached the story from a different angle. They concentrated on the serious allegations made by anonymous sources who claimed Mr. Musk used drugs frequently and that his behavior could be erratic and unpredictable. These outlets explored the potential negative consequences for Musk's businesses and professional responsibilities. This divergence illustrates that news reporting is not monolithic. The information a person receives can be shaped by the outlet's perspective. News companies with specific political leanings may frame a story to align with those views. Consequently, the public was presented with two dominant narratives. One portrayed the story as a politically motivated fabrication. The other presented it as a serious investigation into potentially problematic behavior. This contrast in reporting highlights how political affiliations can influence the public's understanding of major news events. 7. What people think. Opinion on Elon Musk and the recent news stories is sharply divided. There is no consensus on the situation. A large number of people are staunch supporters of Elon Musk. They tend to believe the news stories are false and that the media is treating him unfairly. Musk's supporters champion him as a genius who has built revolutionary companies like Tesla and SpaceX. They point to his monumental successes as a reason to trust him when he denies illegal or regular drug use. To these supporters, his seemingly odd actions, like balancing spoons at a dinner, are not seen as problematic but simply as quirks of his personality. Some attribute his unconventional mannerisms to Asperger's syndrome, a condition he has which can affect social interaction and communication. Prominent figures have also defended Musk. President Donald Trump stated he saw no evidence of Musk using drugs and called him a great person. Many of President Trump's followers share this positive view of Musk and are skeptical of negative media reports, which they often see as biased against those who support the president. However, many others are concerned. These individuals, often critics or business and finance experts, focus on Musk's vast corporate responsibilities. They worry that his actions could jeopardize his companies. Companies like Tesla and SpaceX are incredibly valuable. Many people known as investors have put their money into them. They fear that if Musk behaves in a way that seems risky or erratic, it could erode confidence in his leadership. A loss of investor trust could lead to a drop in the company's stock value. A Wall Street Journal report noted that investors were worried that news about drug use could harm his businesses. Critics argue that a leader of such large, vital companies must be extremely careful with their public image. They see erratic actions or talk of drug use as a significant problem for a CEO. They believe Musk's behavior affects not only him, but also the thousands of employees, customers, and investors connected to his enterprises. Ultimately, people's views on Musk are often tied to their political leanings. Those who align with his politics may see the news stories as unfair attacks. Those who disagree with his politics may view them as evidence that he is not a stable or suitable leader. Thus, some see a brilliant innovator being unfairly targeted for being different, while others see a leader whose behavior could pose a serious risk to his companies and the wider economy. 8. The final word. This story centers on Elon Musk, a renowned and wealthy mind behind companies like Tesla and SpaceX, who recently became the subject of public fascination due to some strange events. A video surfaced of him balancing spoons at a dinner with President Donald Trump, and he was later seen publicly with a black eye, sparking questions. The situation escalated when the New York Times published a story alleging through anonymous sources that Musk frequently used powerful drugs like ketamine, ecstasy, and mushrooms. The report claimed his ketamine use was so extensive it caused health problems, and that sources had seen his pillbox. Elon Musk immediately refuted the story as untrue. He posted online that he was not taking drugs, joked that his son gave him the black eye during playtime, and clarified that he had a prescription for a small amount of ketamine years ago for depression, but no longer uses it. He accused the media of lying to damage his reputation. the truth remains elusive. The newspaper's case relies on anonymous sources, while Musk has issued a firm public denial. The spoon-balancing video is ambiguous. Some view it as a sign of drug use, while others see it as a harmless joke. The media itself was divided. News outlets supportive of Donald Trump defended Musk, calling the story a political attack. Other outlets focused on the serious nature of the allegations from the unnamed sources. This split demonstrates how political bias can shape the news. Public perception is similarly fractured. Musk's supporters see a genius unfairly maligned by the media, explaining his odd behavior as part of his unique personality. In contrast, business experts and critics worry his conduct could threaten the stability of his vital companies and the investments people have made in them. Elon Musk remains a powerful and pivotal figure in the world. But he is also a deeply polarizing one. The truth behind the drug allegations is not clear, with strong claims on both sides, but no definitive proof. This story highlights the complexity of Musk's persona, a visionary who changes the world. It acts in ways that many find bizarre or concerning. We do not yet know how this chapter will ultimately affect his legacy and how he will be remembered. What do you believe is the real story behind Elon Musk's behavior?